and so I did. I went to go see Robert, and I ended up seeing Robert probably once a week for close to 6 months. And when I first went, and so somebody recommended him like 3 years previously and said, yeah, he does this. And I was like, well, no, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to be working on me. And so then there came a time in my life that I really needed some help, and I was willing to do something different. And so I went to go see him, and I was amazed in that first 2 hour session what happened. And anybody that's gone to see spend 2 hours with Robert, I mean, it's just a total things that had bothered me my entire life were just gone. And that pain and that suffering was over. And I was pretty amazed. I mean, I felt so much lighter. And, I kept on going. And needless to say, I don't know if it's the way I look at my past, but I might have had a few things happen in my life. And so, and I just like Chad. Oh, is he? Okay, is he over there? Okay, just like Chad, I like to replay him over and over and over again. And, Chad, I just want to thank you so much for getting up there and sharing and your courage in doing that. I mean, I thought that was awesome. I mean, and it gives us a healing also. So, anyhow, and so I'd go see Robert, and I think, okay, and even after going to see him, there was things in my past from my childhood that I did not know, and so they were revealed, and abuse issues that were revealed, and we had to deal with it, and I was just amazed, and it was that unconscious mind, trying to protect me, and and I think that God just allowed it to happen to let me find him before those were revealed. Because I think that if they would have been revealed, I don't know where I'd be, probably up to the same thing that I used to do. And I used to be really afraid to go see Robert. I think, God, it's surely not going to work on this deal. And then I'd go, and then it would feel better. And I think, wow, I can't believe it. And so I kept on going and kept on going. And I've attended seminars for close to a year and a half. And I've become a practitioner. Now I tap on other people. And I can tell you my life is really wonderful. And as far as depression, the way that I used to feel, I used to be a highly depressed person, and where, one of the things that I used to do was just try and walk and, and try and stay in that present moment. But I didn't know how to release my past. I looked at it and looked at it, just like what Robert said. I looked at my past. I just kept on looking at it, and it did get better. I mean, and we're talking, I'd say 26 years of self-improvement. I've gotten a lot better. But I would say in the last year and a half, with this technique and this process, it has been quantum leaps. And I can sit in my own skin and feel at peace. And I can totally love myself. And if I don't, and then I can tap on it and say, okay, what do I need to release? And, one of the things that happened today is I went over to see my dad. And it just made me really emotional because he's getting really old. And so, I don't know, but and so I thought, he's going to die. And I thought, God, Linda, he's still alive. You don't have to kill him off just yet. And but that's just how my mind works, And but reality of it, he couldn't walk very far, a few houses, and he said, I got to go back, and. Okay, yeah, okay, I'll tap. And so, so one of the things that I looked at is that, my whole life, I blamed my father for an incident that happened when I was 2.5 years old, and I held it against him, and I held it against him, and I'm 47 now, and I've released a lot of it, and probably most of it, and then, and I thought, God, that I looked at him with a lot of compassion because I held it, but I also kept that relationship distant that way. I didn't have to be vulnerable. I didn't have to get close. Okay, yeah, and it's very safe. It's very safe to do that, and but to give it up and to have that forgiveness and that love and that compassion for that other human being, then you just really have to trust, I guess, that, the hurt that I replay in my life, I don't, by replaying it over, it just keeps it alive. And so I don't have to do that, and that I can be there with my father in a different way. And so his feet have been hurting, but even though he says they don't, but he can't walk. And I'm like, is there anything wrong with you? And he's like, no, I'm fine. And then I was like, Dad, I'll rub your feet. And he's like, oh, no, you're not, And but also I'll say, can I tap on you? And he won't let me tap on him either. But one of these days I'll just jump over there and do it. And I do have a pretty funny story. So needless to say, I don't have to live that way anymore. And I am so grateful, Robert. Thank you so, so much. And that was one of the things, it's kind of like, Robert's kind of like that knight, that shining, what is it, a knight in shining armor, but not the way I personally meant for it to be. And he has truly saved me from my own self. And, taught me how to love myself, to forgive myself, and forgive the other people in my world. And, even though at times I thought that I did that, I don't know if it's just come piece layers or layers. And today I have a much deeper love for myself and for every person in my life and the people that I touch. And that's what you've given to me, so then I can give to others. So thank you. I would like to say that I did have migraines for 24 years, severe migraines, and I didn't, until I went to go see Robert, they didn't leave. And it had to do with an emotional issue that was buried, and one of those unconscious memories. And so that was one of the things. And then I probably lost 20 pounds. And what other thing have you done for me? Oh, well, I do a lot of things in my personal life that I would have never dreamed that I could possibly have done as far as my career and going forward. So I truly believe one of the things I have now is that there's no limits or boundaries within myself, that I can do and become anything I want to. So
Absolutely.
thank you.